Welcome to today's episode of Cheesy Popcorn. It's episode 29 for those
29.
of you that are keeping track.
I'm not.
I'm Chris Miles, your co-host, and alongside with my other buddy,
Annivar, co-host of this show, along with Chris Miles, who is also the co-host of this show. We co-host it together.
Yeah.
Hence the term co-host.
Yes.
But Chris has another show called New on Music Row, which is a great show, all about country music and things happening in country music, which is really cool. And I
you
have two of the
have
shows.
two.
I have lunchtime trivia.
Other shows.
Count Chocula.
No.
That's the other thing I saw.
Sesame
Frankenberry.
Street.
I eat Frankenberry. So we were talking about Frankenstein earlier. I ate Frankenberry.
So that's what you weren't supposed to choke on. Okay.
Right.
Got it.
Anyway, lunchtime trivia, which is a really cool trivia show that you can listen to during your lunch. Don't have to get the answers correct. We don't really give it, but you can have fun with it. And the other show is Can I Call You Dad?
We're
with my
supposed
son,
to keep the show PG-13.
Andrew. You PG 13-year-old don't say that?
No,
Really?
they're not supposed to.
Well, they do.
Didn't you get your mouth washed out with soap when you did that?
We didn't have soap when I was a kid.
Oh, borax.
No, we didn't have that either.
Oh, okay. What'd you use to clean yourselves? The hose?
My first shower I took when I got in the Navy.
Oh, okay.
I was 19.
Because you were around a bunch of
I
seamen.
was 19 before I ever
see
took a
how that
shower.
works.
Just so you know.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
That is true. I took baths, but I never took a shower.
Okay. All right.
I didn't say I didn't clean,
Okay. All right. Okay.
but I didn't take showers.
Wow.
Oh, wait a minute. That's a lie. I took a shower in high school because I was on the wrestling team. And they made you take a shower in wrestling. So. Well, they didn't make you, but I wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. Says a lot. So, the Oscars are a couple weeks away,
Yeah.
and we are
March
continuing.
15th, for those of you who don't know.
We are continuing our shows that where we talk about Best Picture. Well, this show is about Best Picture, but we're covering like the big five as far as awards are concerned.
Correct.
And next week's show will be Best Supporting Actor or Actress.
Oh, will we?
Yeah,
Okay. Good to know. Supporting.
supporting. Yes, right.
So you agree with me that sometimes the
Jacques-
supporting actor should have gotten the best actor, or no? I think there's several
I think
supporting
it
actors that outshone the actor, in my
think
opinion.
there are a couple. Yes, I could agree with you on that. But that's not what the show is about. We'll save that conversation for that show.
For that show, okay.
All right.
Stay tuned. You're gonna have to stay tuned, folks.
Yeah. Exactly.
Tell your friends.
So this week's show, of course, we said we're going to talk about Best Pictures. We're going to talk about our favorite Best Pictures.
Best picture winners.
Right. Best Picture winners. Yes, exactly. I'm glad you said winners and not a different way.
Right.
Because we know you're 12 today. So am I. So,
13.
you know.
PG-13. Remember you said.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. My bad. Okay.
So
So
a tip for you folks.
we were there. Yeah. Anyway. So we talk about movies that are coming out this weekend. We're going to talk about a movie that we chose to review. We didn't have a pick of movies from the movies that came out last week that we were kind of like, oh, yeah, I got to go see that. Although I did see Scream 7, and it's pretty much what you expected. If you're a fan of the Scream films, I think you're going to enjoy it. There's a couple of really cool, we'll call them cameos in it. And it was just, I mean, it's what I expected it to be. Is it blockbuster, Best Picture-esque type stuff? No, of course not. Is it your horror slasher movie that just every once in a while you just got to see one because you're a horror slasher movie fan? Absolutely.
Not my cup of tea. I'll watch it if we had to watch it to review it, but those have never been my cup of tea.
And it's all good. I just was
I didn't say what.
interjecting some flavor for this week just because of the fact that I did see it. And I thought it was, it was entertaining. It did its thing. I would probably watch it again, but I tend to watch these movies a few times because I like to look. I like to do a lot of continuity checks because I find horror movies are atrocious. Yes.
Wow.
I know. That's my 25-cent word for today. But most horror movies are atrocious with continuity.
Wow.
So it's kind of like my fun game, so to speak. But speaking of fun, coming up this week, as far as movies are considered. Now, remember, these are movies that are not in limited release. These are movies that are considered to be like nationwide releases.
Right.
Because there is a movie that is in limited release this week that actually deserves a nod, a little bit of a conversation about, because I think it's going to become, if it does well, I think it's going to become probably a nationwide one. That's The Protector, which we had talked about before.
Right, we talked about earlier.
Mila Jovovich is in it. Matthew Modine's in it. D.B. Sweeney. It's got a great cast. It looks interesting. It just hasn't.
Matthew Modine and J.B. Sweeney.
Yeah.
Sounds like the lineup for Dancing with the Stars.
Right. I mean, and then you add Mila to the mixture, and
I'm just saying.
Corbin Dallas Multipass. Anyway, name the movie. All right. Those honorable mention on that one. I do not know if it's going to be available in your area. Like I said, it's limited release. That's also why we tend not to talk about them, because this program can be listened to pretty much anywhere.
Right.
So we try to stick to things that are going to be like major releases, so to speak. And with that in mind, a movie that I've been hotly anticipating for at least a month now, from watching all the trailers, is called The Bride.
The Bride, yes.
And coincidentally enough, the gal that plays the bride
is not married.
That, but also she looks a lot like a very famous singer, like very famous. And every time I see the movie, I think it's every time I see the preview, I think it's her.
Really?
And I finally went through and figured out who she was. Now, the gal who plays the bride, her name is Jessie Buckley.
Uh-huh.
But I always think it's Lady Gaga.
See, I thought that too.
Right.
Initially.
Because I was
then
like,
I thought, well, why would she do this?
Because she did American Horror Story.
Yeah, I know. But
And that's kind of her thing. So Christian Bale's in it. He plays the monster.
Yeah, he looks great in it.
And we'll see how that goes. I'm going to keep my comments to myself about that, because I have a feeling that I'm going to see something just like you saw something in another movie that nobody agrees with you on. Anyway, and then Jake Gyllenhaal and Maggie Gyllenhaal. We won't. Christian Bale.
Oh,
think about the stretch there. Michael Keaton.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
anyway, and he's playing a monster. So anyway,
yes.
All right. Jake Gyllenhaal and Maggie Gyllenhaal is the director.
Wow.
But she's also in the movie as well too. So it'll be interesting. It's got like a Maggie Gyllenhaal vibe, like some of the movies that I've seen her in. This is kind of like the vibe that she has. So I'm interested in it. You're interested in it. So that's the movie we're going to review next week.
I'm a Frankenstein freak. I've probably seen every Frankenstein movie ever made.
No, we found
Going
one
back to Boris Karloff.
We found one you haven't
seen. You found one, just one.
Yeah.
And then I eat Frankenberry, so...
They still make that?
I'm right there. Yeah.
Wow.
They still make Count Chocula.
Okay.
Yes.
Wasn't a big fan of that either.
Oh, my God. What is wrong with you?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just wasn't a big fan of it.
Wheat?
No. I ate Lucky Charms.
Ooh. They're magically delicious.
Cookie Crisp? Was that the other one?
Cookie Crisp, yes. That was a good one.
Sugar Snaps was one that I liked.
Pops.
Sugar Pops. I think they were called Sugar Snaps
Sugar
first.
Smacks.
Sugar Smacks. That's what I'm thinking of. Yes.
And Sugar Pops.
Sugar Smacks. And
Sugar
then
Pops. Captain Crunch.
I liked Honeycomb.
Honeycomb.
I liked Peanut Butter Captain Crunch.
Yeah, Peanut Butter Captain Crunch.
I didn't like the original Captain Crunch because
I like the original.
It tore up the top of my mouth.
Yeah,
but,
it would do that. You had to be careful. You had to make sure you let it soak good in the milk.
Oh, maybe
so it still had some crunch, but if you bit into it right away, yeah, you could tear up the roof of your mouth.
Yeah. So anyway, all of that to say that The Bride is the movie that we are going to review next week on the show. It does come out.
It all goes
in
together,
theaters
The
tomorrow.
Bride and all the serial stuff, because basically they're serial killers.
Okay. Anyway.
It all ties together.
That was a stretch. All right. Next up, a gal who has won Best Actress, as a matter of fact, is in this movie. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No.
It is an animated feature.
Yes.
It's called Hoppers.
Hoppers.
Meryl Streep is in it.
I heard that. Yeah. She's in this. Yes.
Vanessa Bayer, Dave Franco, which is interesting. He's been out of the mix for a while.
Yep.
It's about Mabel, an animal lover who seizes an opportunity to use new technology to hop her consciousness into a lifelike robotic animal.
Yep.
An adorable beaver.
It looks good. It looks like a fun little movie. I like that kind of stuff, you know. I like The Incredibles. I like the Minions. I watch all that stuff with my grandkids, and I just like it. I enjoy it. Sometimes I cry. I'll be honest.
Wow.
Sometimes I cry.
He's letting his real emotions out, folks. Just FYI.
Okay, good.
So, other two releases on Netflix this week, as a matter of fact. Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, which is kind of like a takeoff of the Peaky Blinders series. If you know about Peaky Blinders, then you know about this. It should be interesting. Tom Hardy's in it, along with Tim Roth and Barry Quinnigan as well, too. So it should be interesting. It's on Netflix. We're only mentioning it because it's on Netflix, and you can see it that way as well, too. Also out this week is War Machine on Netflix, featuring Alan Richardson, Dennis Quaid, S.A. Morales.
Dennis Quaid?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Todd Lieberman. So if you got Netflix, you can check out those two movies coming out this week. We talked about them only because they're Netflix releases, and I feel like a majority of people have Netflix at this point.
Yeah, I don't, but most people do.
Yeah, well, that goes without saying.
I like Dennis Quaid. I think he's underrated, personally.
All right.
I think he was in a movie called I Can Only Imagine. There's I Can Only Imagine 2. I don't know if it's out yet, but it's if it isn't, it's coming. And he played the dad in that movie, in the first one. And I seriously thought he should have got an Oscar nod. I thought he played the role like I've seen him in a lot of stuff where I didn't think he should get an Oscar nod. In this one, that one I thought he should have.
Okay.
I thought he was overlooked for that.
All right.
But I should get an Oscar nod too, so what do I know?
No, you should not.
I should.
No. For what?
For this.
Wow. Okay.
For this show.
Oh, so that makes you is this your argument about the supporting actor
Yes.
being better than the major actor? Okay.
Yes.
All right. We're co-hosts, so there is no
So
support
we should both
here.
get an Oscar.
Oh, I don't think they give Oscars for podcasts.
They should.
Maybe a Grammy.
We could share one. Oh, they do have Grammys for podcasts. We should
that would
submit.
make more sense.
Hey, somebody should be listening to
You
this.
should
and
call it
submit
Barry
us.
Gordy.
Who?
Barry Gordy.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't he involved in the Oscars or something like that back in the day?
Not Barry
thought he
Gordy. Barry Gordy was the Motown guy.
Right, but I thought he was involved with the did I say Oscars? I meant Grammys.
Yeah,
He was
Grammys.
involved with the Grammys for a while.
Was he?
Yeah, he was like the president or something like
I
that.
thought that was a Dick Clark thing. Dick Clark had everything at one time. He had every show on TV.
Yeah, well,
Him and Ed McMahon.
he has a good beat, but I'll only give it a 5.
Okay.
So, anyway,
Can't dance to it.
yeah, nope, not at all. And speaking of that, we couldn't dance to any movies last week, so we had our picks
Yes.
of the movie. So I've been yapping for quite some time. I'm interested to hear what movie you actually saw and are going to review.
Okay.
So go ahead.
So my first inclination when we decided to do this was one of my favorite Westerns is Tombstone with Kurt Russell and the other guys. Sam Elliott.
The other guys.
Who played Doc? You know. One of the best Doc holidays I've ever seen. And I can see his face and I can't think of his name. And we're going to hear about this from Armand.
Especially if you've seen it with him.
Yeah.
Val.
Val Kilmer.
You're welcome.
Okay. Anyway, I was going to see that. And then I saw an interview with Zach Braff. Zach Braff from Scrubs. Now, he is known for comedic acting. Obviously, Scrubs, right? And it's back again. But he was on The View talking about his directing. I didn't know he directed. And Whoopi asked him what it was like to work with Morgan Freeman, to direct Morgan Freeman, not to work with him because he's not in the movie, but he directed Morgan Freeman in a movie called A Good Person. And they talked a little bit about that. And they talked a little bit about the movie. And as I was going through looking for Tombstone, I saw A Good Person come up. And I thought, I'm going to watch that because I was kind of intrigued by the fact that I like Zach. I think he's a funny actor. And he seems like a nice guy, too. Anyway, I got intrigued by his knowing he directed it. So I found it, and I went to watch it. And it's Morgan Freeman, Molly Shannon, Celeste O'Connor, who's a young girl, plays the daughter, and then Florence and I'm not sure if I'm saying this right. Pugh, P-U-G-H, plays Allison, who's one of the main characters. It's basically Allison and Morgan and Molly are the three main characters. It's one of those movies that doesn't have a whole lot of supporting characters. It's built around basically 3 or 4 people. But for a first-time director, first of all, I thought for a first-time director, he did a really, really outstanding job.
He also wrote it too.
He did write it, and it's loosely based on his life experiences. I was getting to that.
Just you were going through the list, so I just wanted to let you know.
The story is about a young girl who is engaged and has a car accident before the engagement, before the wedding happens, and it goes on from there. I don't want to give a lot away because it's easy to give away stuff in this movie with just a little bit of information. And I would just tell people to go see it. I started watching it at about 11 at night. And because it was on Tubi, which is free movies with a lot of commercials, I didn't finish till about 1:35. But I just couldn't walk away. It was compelling. The acting was great. The writing was terrific. It was so overwhelmingly real. If you've been in a situation where you've lost someone, and then that led you to some other place in your life, you'll relate to this really, really, really super well. It was all filmed in New Jersey, which is where Zach grew up, which was kind of cool. It was real gritty. I mean, the locations, there's nothing stylized or glamorous about this movie. It's like you're there in New Jersey, eavesdropping on this situation. And I fell in love with it. I thought it was just, I would give this movie a 9.5, and I'd watch it again because again the performances I thought were compelling. Now some of the actors I just mentioned, they have limited roles. It's mainly Morgan and Celeste. It's almost the whole movie is the two of them, but the other characters as they come in lend to what is going on beautifully in a subtle kind of way, most of it, and then in a really in-your-face kind of way in other sections of it. But he blended it really nicely, I thought. So that's what I did. I watched a human reality movie about how people deal with situations that we could at one time in our lives all deal with.
Okay. All right. So the funny thing is that we seem to have in your case now it's actor. In my case, it's a supporting actor in common in the movie. Because I decided to go to a movie that I thought should have won Best Picture in the year that it came out, and it got snubbed.
I think I know what it is.
And it's one of my favorite movies. You think you know what it is? So let's see if you can guess it.
I'll guess Shawshank Redemption.
Yep, exactly. Nice.
Love that movie.
Yep.
Love it.
And
you're right. They got snubbed, and that was stupid.
It totally got snubbed. It was a great movie that came out. It was a period piece.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard to tell who the main character is there in terms of best actor, because Morgan's
the supporting actor in that.
I know, but
for
Tim
sure.
Robbins and Morgan Freeman, I thought, really co-actors in there as opposed.
They were a great team. That's absolutely true. But the way that the film is made.
Yeah, I know.
Andy Dufresne is the main character, and that is that's the character that Tim Robbins
and Red
plays.
is the other character. I get that, but watching the movie, without one or the other, the movie is not as good in my opinion.
Oh no, you're absolutely.
Go ahead, say
absolutely. It. No, there's nothing to say. There's no argument there at all.
You didn't finish. You didn't say absolutely right. You just said absolutely.
No, I absolutely agree with you. That's what I was going to say. Mister, I need to have my ego stroked. But not just because this was written by, Stephen King.
Yep.
And it's based off of his novella. It's just, it's such, it's a humanistic piece. It's a period piece. I love
period pieces.
I have said this before. I love the style. If I remember correctly, it's like late 50s, early 60s. It came out in 94. I believe it was nominated for Best Picture that year. And it just got totally snubbed. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, of all the movies that came out that year, I was like, how did this thing get snubbed? And I think it was because, and I'm going out on a limb here, but Tim Robbins wasn't well known at that point. I mean, not really well known. And I think they were just kind of like...
Morgan Freeman was.
Well, right, but like that's why I think it just got snubbed, because it was Morgan Freeman. Because I think he won Best Supporting Actor for that year. And maybe Tim won something, like maybe he won a Golden Globe or something like that. I don't remember, but it got snubbed. And I always, to this day, I'm always like, how did this thing like just not do well? But was nominated for 7 Academy Awards. Best Picture it was nominated for. Freeman was nominated for Best Actor. It was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Cinematography, Best Film Editing. It was nominated all over the place. And it did not win in any category. It received 2 Golden Globe nominations, Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture for Freeman and Best Screenplay for Dubont. But like I said, it just got snubbed everywhere. And Freeman was the one who, got the most nominations atop, aside from Tim Robbins. And like I said, Tim wasn't a very big actor at the time. And
it actually got 7 nominations. Mm-hmm. Didn't get any. Morgan Freeman was actually nominated for Best Actor.
Yeah, right.
Not supporting.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's why...
He lost to Forrest Gump.
Right.
Which is on my list of all-time worst movies.
And that's what I was like, okay, Forrest Gump was a great film. It absolutely was. But I was like, this movie was so much better.
I agree. Totally better. Way better.
But I think that, and just some of the other lesser known people that were in the movie, maybe the fact that it was a Stephen King novella, maybe that's what did it in. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point in case is that it's a great film. You should see it if you haven't seen it.
Absolutely.
It's just absolutely amazing. And it's such a humanistic approach to like prison life.
Yes.
And just some of the, and the human condition about never giving up on anything and always pushing yourself.
What I came away with that movie was one of the things that Red says about how you become institutionalized, and not living in a prison is harder than being in prison, which is why a lot of guys go back. Mm-hmm. Which is the one guy ends up getting out, and I don't want to give it away, and because he's been there so long, he's so used to that environment that he can't deal with being on the outside now. And plus, if you're in prison for 30 years, a lot of things on the outside change in 30 years. And when you come out, you got to relearn how to live in society again. And that was a central message of this movie, I thought.
No, it's a
great movie. It should be on everybody's 100 films to watch before you die.
For sure. And
I think,
like I said, it should have won Best Picture of the Year that year.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of why I put it in here, because to me it was one of the biggest snubs I've ever seen in my life when it comes to the
Same
Academy
thing with
Awards and
Sixth
things of that
Sense,
nature.
in my opinion. Snub 2 for that stupid American Beauty.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll leave that one alone. But yeah, so that's my review.
So we both had Morgan Freeman in our
right,
movies.
but we both
That's
had Morgan
cool.
Freeman in our movies. So there we go.
I don't think I've seen a bad Morgan Freeman movie to be. Well, there was one. It was something called 10 Items or Less. So it's a really dumb movie.
That just sounds
I don't know
like
why.
a dumb movie.
Like Morgan just needed a couple $100 or something.
Yeah,
I don't know why
maybe.
he ever did. Or he did it as a favor to somebody.
Who knows?
It's a really. Don't even look it up, folks.
Yeah, well.
Okay, so that takes care of that then, huh?
I'm not going to waste my time looking it up either.
No.
But yeah, that's it for that portion of the show. That portion of the show? I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. But anyway.
I don't know.
So how many best movies are you bringing to the table? 4. So we've done away with the whole 2 per show thing now. I see.
Well,
You're just an overachiever now.
No, it was.
All right, go ahead, overachiever.
I went
You're
back.
Up. You're
I
up.
went back over the all the Best Picture winners for the whole Oscars, and I got to one, and I went, oh yeah, that one. And then I kept going and went, oh shit, I got to get that one. And then I went down, and actually there were like 10 that I could have done, but I narrowed it down to 4. And I'm going to go in chronological order, oldest to newest, okay? And then you can go from there. So 1934. It happened one night with Clark Gable and Claudette.
I knew you were going to
Colbert.
bring this one up.
Frank Capra, I mean, one of the best feel-good movie directors of all time. It's a great movie. If you've never seen it, go get it at the library. Look it up on Tubi or YouTube. You'll be able to find it. It's a hilarious comedy with just a really feel-good message. And Claudette Colbert was one of the best comedic actresses out there. She really was. So get that one. 1943. I don't know how anybody could disagree with Casablanca. 1943. Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman, Peter Lorre, Claude Rains, Sidney Greenstein, Dooley Wilson as Sam. And for those of you who have seen the movie, and you know this, if you haven't seen the movie, you know the line "played against Sam" has been used over and over and over again as a line from that movie, which it's not. The actual line, Ingrid Bergman, who plays Elsa, says, "Play it, Sam. Play as time goes by." That's her line. And Bogart, who is attributed to "Played Against Sam," the actual line is, "You played it for her, you can play it for me." That's the actual line. And then, of course, the all-time remembered line is, "Here's looking at you, kid," at the end of the movie. But those are the other 2 lines. 1957. I'm getting closer to modern time here, Chris. Bridge on the River Kwai, with Alec Guinness, William Holden, and Setsu Hayakawa.
God bless you.
Thank you. If you don't know the movie, it's a story about a bridge that prisoners of war during our war with Japan had to build because they were in a prisoner of war camp, and the colonel who ran the camp needed to build the bridge. His people didn't really know how to build a bridge, but the British soldiers who were there actually had an engineer, was one of the POWs, who knew how to build a bridge, and so they built this bridge for the Japanese as a way to keep morale up with the men. And Alec Guinness is brilliant in it. William Holden it's not a huge role for him, but it's a good role.
Of course, Obi-Wan is brilliant in this movie.
Well, of course, yes. But really, what's really amazing about this movie to me is that if you look up information on this, Setsu Hayakawa, who played the Japanese colonel,
God bless you.
He did not know a word of English. He learned all of his lines by having someone talk them into a tape player, probably a reel-to-reel at the time, and then he memorized them phonetically. Every single line in that movie that he says, he's, at the end of the movie, at the end of the filming, he still didn't speak English, which is amazing, I think. And here we're in 2020. The King's Speech, with Colin Firth as King George VI and Geoffrey Rush. If you don't know what it's about, King George VI became King of England because his brother advocated the throne to go marry a commoner. And he has a stutter, a really bad stutter. But he has to now make speeches because they're at war. And so Geoffrey Rush is the linguist that comes in to teach him. And the relationship between Geoffrey Rush and Colin Firth that develops in this movie is freaking amazing. If you've never seen it, rent it. You will love it. Absolutely deserving of Best Picture that year, in my opinion. So there you go.
So one movie from this generation, everything else from your generation. I see.
Correct.
I see how it works.
Well, a lot of the Best Picture movies that have won recently, I don't I don't. Either I haven't seen or I don't agree with.
So I will. This is the funny part of this. I went back and looked at like the Best Picture nominees list too.
Okay.
Which, of course, what you would do that if you're going to have a show where you're talking about best pictures, like that you think are good. And I looked back at the last 5 years of movies, and I went, I haven't seen a single one of these.
Wow.
Not even Oppenheimer, because I would not go see that.
Oppenheimer, and it's not one of my favorite best pictures.
I hope they heard you.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
It was too long, boring,
I
not
heard
well written, no new information at all.
Right.
Very disappointing.
I heard so many bad reviews about it that I was like, I'm glad I didn't go see this, and I'm glad I didn't waste 3 hours of my life. And then it gets the Best Picture win, and I was like, oh my God, maybe I should go see it. But anyway,
so you didn't see it.
Well, as we have said, there are sometimes pictures win Best Picture, and we don't agree with it, and
Right.
that's the way it goes.
And that's okay.
All right, so you're the overachiever, I'm the underachiever. I picked two, but then there's actually like a runner-up. So
that's three.
So it's three, yeah. So my runner-up is No Country for Old Men.
I saw that one too.
It's a Coen
I was
Brothers.
Pick that one,
it's a
but then
Coen
I kept
Brothers.
going down.
It's a Coen Brothers film.
Yes.
And it honestly, it's what turned me on to them. I didn't really know them that well, except for I think didn't they do The Matrix? I think they were the Matrix, if I remember correctly.
I believe
so. But I was just kind of like, yeah, I think I did this last time. I just a girl that I was dating at the time wanted to see the movie, and the Hudsucker Proxy and Oh Brother We're Out There. That's what they're known for, and of course, No Country for Old Men. We did talk about this before in the show because I've talked about this movie before. This movie left it made an impact on me. And I've got I'm the person that has a wide movie background, but one of the things that I used to watch a lot growing up as a kid was horror movies, because I would go with my dad every other weekend and we'd stop at a local video store. He'd grab a video, I'd grab a video, and it was just one of the things we did for the weekend.
Nice.
And it was an opportunity for me because my dad was very cool and he didn't, he wasn't like, no, you can't watch that stuff. So I got to watch all the horror movies that I never could watch around my mother because she wouldn't let me watch that stuff.
Nice.
Although she made me sit through Thornbirds. So exactly. As like an 8 or 9 year old kid, I was like, should I really be watching a movie that's about a pastor and like how he has sexual innuendos towards his congregation? But anyway, I'm gonna
innuendos.
Well, okay. I was trying to be a little bit on the light side.
I'm just saying.
You're right. They weren't innuendos. It was straight out soft porn on TV. That's what
pretty
it
much.
Was.
But
So
Richard
anyway.
Chamberlain was gorgeous. I mean, I don't know if he was my priest if I wouldn't be trying to get into his cassock.
Wow. Okay then. Anyways, back
Gorgeous
to Old
man.
Country for No Old Men, since you seem to like
Yes,
want
I
to
like Old Country
change
for Old Men.
the
No Country
direction
for Old
here.
Men. That's a good movie. Matrix was not a Coen brother.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Okay.
I was looking at it again. And I was like, nope. I keep doing that. It's like
You
the
don't wanna get yelled
It's
at.
like the Wazinski brothers or something like that. I just it came to my head while I was saying it.
Wachowskis.
Yeah, that's it. Wachowski brothers.
But they did do Fargo, which is a really good
Right.
movie too.
Okay, so back to Old Country for No
Proceed.
M. I'm gonna pull that microphone away from you in a second. Joel Cole wrote it, and Tommy Lee Jones was in it, and then Javier Bardem. Is that how you say his last name? I think
Bardem.
that was Bardem. That's it. I think this was for me, this was the first movie I ever saw him in.
Oh, really?
But yes, but I had not really paid much attention to him until this movie. But he's like the psychotic killer, we'll call him that. And just the way that he killed people in this movie, I was just like, oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Like with my horror background, it took me to a whole nother level. And I was like, wow, this movie is good in a weird way. And I just couldn't explain it. It's a great movie. It won Best Picture, and it deserved to win Best Picture. And it's a great movie. And if you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's the Coen brothers, so there is that as well. They seem to have a very good following with a couple other movies. I've seen Oh Brother Where Art Thou, and I think that movie is absolutely amazing. And some of their other stuff as well too. So next up, and it's all about the blue light special. Yeah, definitely blue light. Yeah. Rain Man.
Rain Man is great.
Such a phenomenal movie in multiple ways, because for me, it was the first time in my life that I had seen in a movie a person portrayed that had some sort of mental situation, right?
Well,
And back in that day, that was not something that was talked about, right? That person would have been called the R word, which we can't say anymore,
correct.
because of the way they were. And there was a TV show called Idiot Savant,
right,
that came out, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years after that. It was a game show, and it was all about somebody that was super genius.
Right.
And that's along the lines of what he was. He was a super genius. But now, if you take that movie and you put it into like nowadays, they would very easily would have put him on the spectrum for sure. Probably would have called him autistic or something of that nature, but we didn't do that back in the day. But this was, to me, the very first time that we got to see this. And my mom was dating a guy at the time who worked for Channel 11. He was a cameraman, and he had a brother who had, I think, Down syndrome. And I don't remember, Chuck. Chuck was his name.
Chuck.
And I connected, I was a kid, 10 years old, and I connected with Chuck in a way that I've never connected with anyone else in my entire life. Chuck and I just understood each other, and I can't really describe that. And I've always had kind of like a heart for people who have mental challenges and things of that nature. I mean, I suffer with depression as myself, so I think all of us in some way, shape, or form should be seeking some sort of guidance. Let's just put it this way, because some people don't want to say they need help. And I think, if we all are really true to ourselves, we all have some sort of tism. Just, it doesn't matter. We are all on the spectrum in some way, shape, or form. You just don't want to agree with yourself and whatever. Anyway, Rain Man, great flick. Tom Cruise is in it. I'm not a Tom Cruise fan at all. And in this movie, you see exactly why the camera angles are always up whenever Tom's on the camera or on film or on the center of attention, I guess. But Dustin Hoffman, it's such a
great,
such a portrayal. And it's just a great movie. It's movie. So many great lines from it, and things that have stuck with me for my entire life. So great movie. Last but not least, and this is because of the Shakespearean in me.
Ooh.
I have always loved this movie, and probably will always love this movie forever, because it was the first time I saw Shakespeare portrayed on the big screen in a great way. And then right after that, I saw Much Ado About Nothing, and I was like, great. Fell in love with Kenneth Branagh and some of the other actors in that movie. And then they did another one right after that. I think it was A Midsummer Night's Dream, and it was terrible, in my opinion. But this movie won Best Picture, Shakespeare in Love, winner of 7 Academy Awards, as a matter of fact. Gwyneth Paltrow's in it.
Yep.
Joseph Fiennes is in it. Joseph Fiennes is in it as well. Jeffrey Rush. It's got a great cast of characters.
Isn't Judi Dench the queen?
And I was getting to that in a second. And one of the gals that I picked for Best Actress is in the movie as well, Judi Dench. And what I was saying last week, or maybe it was the week before, I don't remember when we did the Best Actress. Oh, it was last week. I had said I couldn't remember where I saw Judi Dench for the first time. This is the movie that I first saw her in, and this is where I fell in love with her. So nothing else needs to be said about this movie, Shakespeare in Love.
Great movie.
It's absolutely phenomenal.
And there's a lesson in that, too. I mean, you got to...
Well, there's a lot of lessons.
The fact that they didn't allow women in theater back then, Just like in the early 40s in Hollywood, if you needed a black character, it was a white guy with blackface.
Right.
That same thing in England. They wouldn't allow women to be actors in live theater, which is what was big back then. So that's a really cool part of that movie that you kind of learn a little bit about what it was like back then for women who, women who wanted to act couldn't act.
But back then, and unfortunately, we don't know the whole truth here. I don't think women were even interested in doing it at that point, because it was such this is a men-only kind of situation. And when you really stop and you look at the way things were back then, as bad as they were, right? When we look at stuff now, we look at how open-minded we are now. But the world was the way the world was back then because that's just the way the world was.
Right.
And I didn't live those times, so I can't speak from any of those any of those people in those times. I'm sure there was thoughts. I'm sure women thought, "Hey, I could do that as well."
Probably.
But unfortunately, they were so downtrodden and so put in situations to make them feel like they were not capable of achieving things
Right.
that they could have achieved. That's the other reason why I love this movie so much, is because it's the first time that I know of, outside of some of the plays that I was in at that time, but it's the first time that a woman was actually in a male role in a movie. And it was a Shakespearean movie of all that. So Shakespeare in Love, go check it out. Get it from your library if you haven't seen it already. Buy it because it's worth watching millions of times. And Joseph Fiennes plays William Shakespeare, and I absolutely love him. And Jeffrey Rush is in it as well too. So a lot of great,
And he's great.
a lot of great actors, a lot of people who actually won Academy Awards because of this movie. Ben Affleck is in it as well too. Most people don't remember that either.
I don't remember Ben, but
Yeah.
I don't remember him anything.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That's kind of a remarkable actor to me.
That's not saying much to you. So
I don't like him in The Accountant. I just think he's totally miscast.
why did you bring up The Accountant?
I don't know. It's just you brought up Ben Affleck. So
Not the movie I would have thought of Ben Affleck. I would have thought of Argo. And why was that movie Best Picture or winner? But anyway, I digress. I'm not going to go in any further with some of these things. I'll keep the rest of my opinions to myself because Lord only knows that there's going to be some Salgado out there that's going to say something about what we had to say in this episode. So,
Yes.
And it's probably going to be you. So anyway, that's going to bring this episode to a close. Make sure you stick with us next week. We're going to have Best Supporting Actors, Actresses. Before we close out, we have done this for the last couple of episodes, so we need to do this here. Here are the nominees for Best Picture for the 2026 Academy Awards. In no particular order: The Secret Agent, Borgia, or Borgia, maybe? I don't know how to pronounce that. Marty Supreme, Train Dreams, F1. That's interesting.
F1 was a Brad Pitt movie.
Yeah.
Formula One racing, which I saw, which is very good.
Yeah, but why?
But it's an Apple TV movie. It wasn't in theaters.
It was in theaters.
It was?
It was in theaters
Was
for
it
a
short
very
time
short
then? Because I saw
Yes.
it on Apple.
It was in theaters because Chris Stapleton had a hit that came out of that movie, and that's why people went to go see it. They were like, "It's in theaters. We got to go see it." Sinners, which I think is a great movie, and I'm going to save that for when we actually do our predictions.
Okay.
Frankenstein, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro, that's the version of his. That was also in theaters as
Yes,
well.
I saw it in the theater.
Hamnet, which was a movie that we wanted to see,
yeah, I
but we
didn't see
never got to
Hamnet.
see it. A movie that we did see, which we both thought was absolutely terrible. One Battle After Another. How is this one nominated for Best Picture?
I
But
have no
anyway.
idea.
And then last but not least, Sentimental Value. So those are the movies that are nominated this year. In a couple of episodes, basically like the week before the Oscars, we'll go ahead and we'll give you our predictions as well. And we'll see how they do. We'll talk about it at that episode of that. But what we're going to talk about next episode, like I had said, is Best Supporting Actor or Actress. Because that's either one can win that now. It's not just considered Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress. It's all combined into one now too. And then we'll finish this out with Best Screenplay, but that'll be 2 weeks from now. And then next week, you can look forward to our review of The Bride. So until then, I'm Chris Miles.
And I'm Annivar.
And save us some popcorn.
Some cheesy popcorn.